Hope so. Okay, this time I have a story. So there's a great anomaly in the Parsha. If we remember that yesterday we heard the Ten Commandments, and the people say we can't hear this anymore, so Moshe, you become the intermediary. And so already yesterday they start talking about building a Mizbeach, and then they flip right into Mishpatim, and the conversation still continues where Hashem is still talking to Moshe, and it says Ve'ela HaMishpatim, and these are all the laws, and he starts going through an entire list of laws until you get to the end of the Parsha, and it says, and here's the anomaly, it says, Vaysaper la'am et kol divrei Hashem. So Moshe tells the nation all these words of God, Ve'et kol ha'mishpatim, and these mishpatim, which Samson Raphael Hirsch calls the social laws. And here's where it's interesting. So Moshe, he tells them everything. Then what happens? Vayechtov Moshe et kol divrei Hashem. Moshe writes down the divrei Hashem, but he doesn't write down the mishpatim. It stops right there. And then Moshe woke up in the morning and built a matzeva. So the Torah loves this whole list of mishpatim, and yet Moshe seemingly doesn't seem to write it down. It's one viewpoint. So what's the thing about lists? So on Thursday, I was having a meeting with somebody, and he's about 25 years older than me. He loves lists. And I asked him, and I've known him for almost 20 years, and I said, Bob, how did you meet your wife? And I know both the husband and wife. And he says, well, she used to work in my company, and I found that she was divorced, I was divorced, both had kids. We were working at 10 o'clock one night, and I said, let's go out to dinner. And we went out to dinner. We decided we're going to date for 10 days and see what happens. And 10 days later, they got married. And I said, what happened there? And he says, well, we each had our list of 25 items, and our list crisscrossed. Everything we wanted from the other person was on both of our lists. And we decided 10 days, there was no point in dating anymore. We got married. So let's flip it back to this parsha. Okay, so the idea here that I want to convey is that the making of the list is just is the starting point to the much larger conversation of life. So their list might have been a great thing, and it led to, I know them for 20 years. They've been married many decades longer than that. The fabric of their entire existence just started with that list, but it's the rest of the opportunities that they had to fill in the gaps. It's the same thing here. The discussion of the rabbis was, is the list literally all that there is, or is there much more? And I think at the end of the Parsha, when it says that he wrote down only the Divrei Hashem, the idea is that this list is just a reminder of our larger mission, and we have the rest of our lives to figure out all the details. So have a great week, and find a list that works for you. Rabbi Chanan ben Akash Amar Tzedek Kadosh Baruch Hu Lezachar Yisrael V'Yicher L'Hem Torah Mitzvot Ne'amar Na'achafas Mitzvot L'man Tigtal Yadet Rabbi Yadir.
Yiskadal v'yiskadash